Is precast concrete worth the risk? Many of my fans have been asking this question. So today I'm going to try in 10 minutes to answer that question as best as I can. And I'm also looking forward to be educated by you after the video. Well, good afternoon, friends. Welcome to the city of Bondo. I am so pleased to be here, and most importantly, to visit this incredible joint called Fat Baby. This is one of the businesses that is actually owned and operated by a diasporan family remotely. In fact, if you thought that running a restaurant from abroad is impossible, think again, my friends. I was shocked. This diasporan couple is doing an incredible job on so many fronts. I'm not even done with them. Still many videos coming up on the different things they're doing. So today I'm just focusing on one, which is running a restaurant very successfully. And they're doing this from abroad. They just travel back and forth, but most of the time they're out, and this is really working well. So I came specifically to learn. That was the main thing that brought me here, but I also came to enjoy amazing food. As you'll see in this video, we were not disappointed by everything I looked at. I mean, the work they did to set it up. And this is one of those restaurants where you actually sit and eat while watching the chefs making your food, as is customary in many places I've been to outside Kenya. And it's really beautiful. Now, right now, they have actually two branches, one in Bondo and another one in Luanda, all of them in Western Kenya. And there are many branches coming up. So, folks, I'm telling you, I was really surprised to learn about this. So if you're in diaspora and you think this is not possible, come, we'll show you how this works. Now, they have some really good systems for managing the finances, the employees, quality control, supplies, and all of this they do mostly remotely. He's got, I mean, electronically, they can do so much that I didn't know was even possible from diaspora. So, folks, there's a lot for us to learn here, but we'll talk about that another day. So, in fact, I even learned that they actually even do outside catering, they do parties, they do home deliveries, and more. So, those of you who host parties, feel free to reach out to them. This is a new concept, at least for me, in ways that I've not seen in this part of Kenya. In fact, the missus in this couple is also a very good interior designer. Everything you see in here is all her ideas, and she's done way more than this that I'll show you in other videos coming up. She's really good, and you'll see as I walk through the restaurant. So if you need any consultation on interiors or how to run such a business from abroad, just hit me up on my number. I'll be happy to connect you with them, and they'll be happy to show you how they do this. And on top of that, they've got good food. So come on and let me connect you with them. Anyway, as you know, we connect people with all kinds of experts, whether it's architects, fundis, interior designers, and we also supervise diaspora projects back at home. So if you need help with any of that, again, reach out. We'll see what we can do. If we know it, we will help. But if you don't know, we will ask around. So today, let's switch gears real quick back to the issue of precast concrete. A lot of my friends and viewers have been asking me questions about that. And honestly, I have never done precast concrete in Kenya. And so I've had to do a lot of homework over the last 6 months that I'm hoping I'm going to at least share with you some of the things I've learned that I can verify with you in 10 minutes. So first, precast concrete products are very common in diaspora. I see them everywhere. In fact, that's how I see most buildings done where we live in California and in the US. But lately, they've been making quite a bit of inroads in Kenya. For the last couple of years, it seems like folks are beginning to slowly open up to precast, even though many people are still a little skittish on this issue of precast. So if you are new to this and you don't know what precast concrete is, it is basically a construction product that is often made by casting concrete in a reusable mold or form, which is then cured in a controlled environment, transported to the construction site, and maneuvered into space. and many of them you'd see used to make like beams, wall panels, floors, roofs, and many things. So precast architectural panels are also used as cladding or as part of building facade to erect standing walls, landscaping, and soundproofing, or even for security. So it looks like it's very versatile in where it can be used. And I'll just show you a few pictures at the end before we're done. So like I said earlier, I have not done this, but because of the questions I get from my viewers and people who support my work, I've had to do homework, talk to people, and currently I've just added 2 new fundis to my team who can do this work. And so if you're curious, I'm happy to connect you with folks who do that. So I'll just share with you some of the advantages and some of the disadvantages. Many of them are still debatable because you'll hear all kinds of opinions. But in terms of advantages, here's one thing that I know. Number one, that when it comes to precast concrete, there's always going to be a smaller variation in cost. Like the bill of quantities you get for traditional building versus precast, you'll find with precast, the cost is not going to change that much. But with the traditional building, the cost can vary quite a bit as things evolve. Then secondly, it appears precast requires less labor, especially with things like scaffolding. It might be time efficient, again, depending on who you talk to. And then, of course, there are fewer people involved, and so you're not hustling, running around, trying to manage a bigger team and all that. And then using precast is also very good with managing the weight of the building. And that comes with implications like, for example, if your building is lighter, then you can actually have larger spans without using inside columns that we typically find in traditional buildings. So there are some of the distinct advantages that I've heard of that seem credible. But then this work is also fraught with certain risk. For example, the labor part is sort of restricted in the sense that there are only so few fundis, so many fundis who can do precast. And so if you bring a precast fundi and somehow you disagree, then you have to find another expert that does the same thing. Unlike traditional building where if you disagree with the fundi, you simply go and find the next good fundi. So that's one problem. Then the second problem, you hope that whoever casted the concrete products did a proper job in terms of setting them up, storing them, and there was no mishandling. Because some of these mishandled pieces will show up much later on and at a very costly rate, fee. And then sometimes you may have issues with joints, especially when it's not properly done. And just like with traditional construction, you may have moisture issues if the moisture is not addressed, just like in the traditional case. Now, then there's also this challenge with limited flexibility, where once installed, modifying precast concrete can be challenging. And like in traditional building where you simply get your hammers and hit the wall, break it down, and then do something else. Now, besides that, the other challenge with precast products is that you have less control over material quality. Because essentially, you are trusting that whoever set up the precast did the right thing. And you hope that it's true because, unfortunately, in the Kenyan market, concrete products, people like cutting corners. And so it's easy for you to buy something of poor quality. And by the time you discover, it is often too late and it's going to cost you quite a bit. So you have less control over quality, unlike in the traditional building method. And then overall, as of now in Kenya, we still don't have a good sense of the long-term cost of maintaining these types of houses. In diaspora, it's fine because there's years of experience. In Kenya, because there's only so many years of this kind of work, we don't know what long-term it looks like. So I think just like with any form of construction, precast has its benefits and potential drawbacks. So if you were to ask me, would I recommend this option for a client? I would say that number one, for me as a contractor, my job is to give you what you want as best as I can, as long as it is safe and properly done. So overall, I think precast is good for people who are adventurous and are willing to experiment. That's fine. If you're not, then maybe this is not for you. But also say that precast, if you're going to do precast, please make sure you can verify the quality of the panels and the quality of the fundi. Once that is done, I think it's just fine. I know traditional ones feel comfortable, and that's why I say this is for people who are adventurous. So I hope that was helpful, and I will see you in the next. Thank you.